Hey Tim, this is Wes, and before we get into looking at your video in regular speed, I just wanted to go over a couple things that we noticed about your stroke. Overall, it looks pretty good, and there's just a couple of things that you should focus on. You have plenty of time, especially now that December is quickly approaching. You'll have all of December and January to really just focus on drills. And as far as the good things that we saw about your stroke, that's good is that first of all you have a good hip rotation, and so whenever you have the initial hand entering into the water, going from right to left, your hips have good rotation, so that gives you a good streamlined position as you're moving through the water, so that's good. And you also have a good glide, so whenever your hand cuts into the water, you have a nice straight arm glide, keeping you long and tall in the water. So overall, that's good. As far as the things that you probably should work on is just kind of give you a reminder of what Nicole probably mentioned to you a couple of months ago at the clinic. Is number one, as you go through the video, I want you to look at how you bury your head, and there will be an opportunity for me to slow it down and kind of show you what I'm talking about when your head is buried underneath the water. And probably the second thing, the biggest one, is your body position in the water, and this should be your main focus for the next 2 months. And I'll give you some drills to kind of hone in on and focus in on. But really, your body position, and you'll see in the video, is creating a lot of drag, and so that's really something you need to work on. The third thing is you are crossing over with your left hand. And so again, I'm going to slow it down and kind of show you what I'm talking about. And basically, when you cross over, it just puts added stress on your shoulder, and it also makes it difficult for you to swim in a straight line. So if you're at Monticello, man, and you're sighting a buoy, we want you to be able to swim in a straight line. So let's go ahead and look at your video. Okay, so right here, as I slow it down, you can see what I'm talking about. Really, the water should be hitting you at the center of your head. Half of your head should be out of the water, and the other half should be submerged into the water. But right now, you can see that just almost your entire head is underneath the water. And the importance of realizing this and correcting it is that you're just creating more drag the more submerged that your head is in. And so this is just a quick, simple, easy fix, and really get Rachel just to look at you when you're swimming, and you just want to be able to have the water hitting the crown of your head, and that's it, just the center of your head, and having half of it sticking out. So that's just something to keep in mind. Alright, so now as we look at you from the front angle, the reason why I chose this angle is because if we're looking straight at you from the front, I should not be able to see your stomach or your waist, because this angle is so good because we're seeing how much drag that you're creating. What you want with your body position is, number one, you want to be able to push your chest down into the water. So imagine that there's a target on your chest and you're pushing it down. The reason for this is, if you think of a seesaw, you have a fulcrum in the middle that's keeping it nice and centered and balanced. And so we want your hips to focus as that fulcrum. And so it can do this by pushing your chest down into the water, not your head, but your chest down into the waters. What that will do is it'll engage your hips to act as a fulcrum, pushing your hips to the surface of the water. What this will do is it'll make it to where you're creating less drag from your belly button all the way down to your feet, so that when we look at you from a front angle, we're not seeing from the waist down, we're not seeing that creating so much drag to where it's like you're carrying an anchor behind you. And so this is limiting your speed and your efficiency by a whole lot. Now, you crossing over or your head, that creates a little bit of drag. It's a quick, easy fix. It's not that big of a deal. However, your body position is a very, very big deal. If you were able to focus this on the next 2 months, it would make a significant difference in your overall swim time. And so again, we want you long and tall. One of the other other things that you need to focus in on is not just pushing your chest down, but you got to engage that core. And so when you look at the overhead shot towards the end, I want you to see that there's a little contortion going on in your abs section. And so if you were to focus the next 2 to 3 months on doing one core workout a week for about 30 minutes, this would also help your swimming out a lot. Because what we want is you long and tall, engaging your core, keeping it a tight, rigid core so that you're able to really move through the water in a nice, straight, streamlined position. It's almost like thinking the difference between one of those canoes or a rowing boat. A rowing boat is going to go faster because it's long and it's narrow, and so it's going to go faster than a regular canoe. And so just like with you, what we're wanting is for you to be long and tall and as rigid and tight as can be. Chest pushed down into the water. Hips will automatically go up further into the water, creating less drag, making you more efficient. And so right here, Tim, you can see what I'm talking about when I talk about that left hand crossing over. And so what you should think about is imagine that there's a straight line going down the center of your body. Both hands are not allowed to cross that center line. You do not want your hands to cross that center line. And so the negative effects of doing this and getting comfortable with this and integrating it into your regular swim routine is that A, you have these small tendons in your deltoids and it just adds a little more tension and stress to your shoulder. B, and probably more importantly, like I alluded to earlier, is that it prevents you from swimming in a straight line. All right. And so what it'll do is it'll shove you more to one side. And so this is really important, not so much with swimming in a swimming pool, but really when it comes down to racing in a triathlon in open water, you want to be able to swim from buoy to buoy in the straightest line possible. And so one of the things that you can work on, and again, have Rachel look at you when you're doing this and kind of be aware of it when you're swimming, is that you just want to be able to put your hand out straight as can be, not too far out to either side. Really, you want it straight as can be, and not crossing over that center line. It'll make a huge difference. I can't tell you how many people last year at Monticello, the Olympic distance race, could not swim in a straight line. And so it will make a huge difference in your open water swimming. All right, Tim, well, I hope this helped you out. Again, overall, your stroke looks good. Again, the next 2 months for December and January, I would just work on your body position. The email that I'm going to send you is going to include drills that you can focus in on. If I were you, what I would do is devote 2 swim workouts a week to where all you're doing is drills. The reason for this, and I'm going to reiterate it, is the fact that your body position is such that you're creating so much drag. If you were just to correct this and improve your body position, you would deduct minutes and knock off minutes from your Olympic distance time. You know, improving your head position, the crossover, that's only affecting you by seconds on an Olympic distance course. But your body position it's like you're carrying an anchor and you're creating so much drag. So if I were you, I would do these drills that I'm going to send you for the next couple of months. And if you want, we can get together in February or March and take a look at your stroke again. But again, I hope this helps you out. All right, take care.